excited to have you both on today. So I'll just jump into a topic that's been weighing pretty heavily on everyone's minds for the past year, the coronavirus pandemic. Has your office found any silver linings of the pandemic? How has your office adjusted to that?
I'll start, and Adam can chime in if he has other ideas. We have 21 offices and about 650 lawyers. So certainly the pandemic has been a very interesting time for us, and I think all law firms, no matter what their size or location. I think there have actually been a few silver linings coming out of the pandemic. I would say probably the one you would hear from most law firm leaders as the predominant one is that it has expedited the acceptance of change. In a lot of areas, the use of technology, remote work, or alternative work arrangements, collaboration in new and different ways, both with each other inside a firm and with our clients. So I just think, in those circumstances, we were forced to pivot and didn't really have a choice. And so that acceptance of change was sped up a good bit.
And just to build on that acceptance of change, piece, I think, we found ourselves, on the marketing and business development team, to really, I don't know, to say like have our backs against the wall, but, really forced to think more creatively about how we position the firm and how we collaborate in sort of a super speed way with our attorneys. We were one of the first firms to launch a coronavirus resource center. And so to sort of launch that and then be in a place where we did more client alerts in 45 days than we did in the prior 12 months. And so the way that we had to rise to the occasion was a silver lining, really, because it forced us to think creatively, but also sort of led to this kind of element of teamwork and collaboration that was really, in hindsight, awe-inspiring, I think, in some respects, and also exhausting at the same time.
Would you say that this technology has benefited the notoriously paper, book-heavy law firm industry?
I think one really interesting thing that we've seen is that there's a whole group of folks who are more comfortable in this environment than were in sort of that live, go to Chicago on a whim, get on a plane, sort of thing. And so there's a whole group of folks who love this and are making their way through this. We've also seen that there's a lot of folks who find that this environment is easier or more conducive to introducing their colleagues. And so instead of having a colleague feel like they're taking a day to go to Chicago with you to see someone, why don't you get on quickly with me? I'll introduce you to Adam. We'll talk through his practice and kind of how I'm thinking he might be able to help you. And that's a very seamless thing for folks to do. And so, it's not so much a fancy tactic as it is just we found new things that people find as their way of doing things.
We were wondering if you could speak a little bit about how your firm has effectively used D&I efforts to engage with clients and, what exactly D&I efforts are and how you've made that work.
D&I is one of those areas that I think we all recognize that we can all do better in that space. And so to have some of those metrics as well as some of the more specific and concrete things that we can do, to do that coupled with data, I think has been something that our clients have been appreciative of, but without sort of a clear roadmap and some specificity to it, I think, we're not going to get to where we need to be as a firm and candidly as an industry.